API, and we can get started. And those of you that have questions, any personal issues or about your group, about where you need to go with your group, stay with me afterwards. And Sebastian will be with me afterwards. And also you always can reach out right to Sebastian. Is that correct, Sebastian?
That is correct.
That is correct. Okay. So we'll be starting. Okay, welcome everybody. We'll see how long my throat will last, my sore throat. It's getting better, but you can see, you can hear I have some issues, so I'll need your help. Okay, welcome. Today, what I want to do is talk a bit about the cloud. You had an assignment about cloud reading. I want to make sure that everybody understands it. What are the purposes of it? Who are the active players in the market? What are their benefits? And then I want to discuss our next step for our group projects. Each group needs to have gotten consensus among your group and also approval by me of what proposal you will do, because the next step is starting our work with a website. And then we'll add on to our website, we'll add social media. We will also add in chatbots. We will add a phone number that's attached that will have a language model attached to a phone number. And we'll proceed. Next week, we have scheduled a couple of guest speakers coming in. And hopefully we'll be able to look at some academic partnerships I have with other companies. Okay, so let me start with sharing, do a little bit of housekeeping, and hopefully I'll have everybody up and running. So here we know we are on live. On YouTube, we know that there's a latency effect on it, but that's all right. And we know that we're recorded here. This is a way also that for attendance we see and other parts of it. Okay, so let's go to our let's make this full and go to what we always do is what's due section, right? We go to the what's due section, and you see that, Lily, and we see today, we see last week of March 26th, we were supposed to, that was not March 26th because today is March 24th, that we have, let me take my edit mode off so I see the exact same thing you do. Okay, so last Wednesday, we had our team formation and topic selection. You should have had me approve it. If you have not had it approved, please text Sebastian. Sebastian, if you can look at their proposals, we need to approve each one, have to have my input. And then we talked about cloud computing. And you should have had last week on cloud computing, you're in tech guide and in the quiz. And this Wednesday, you have an assignment to complete your final project assignment of part 2, which is basically start Wix and collaborate. We have a readings of artificial intelligence and the adaptive assignment and the quizzes. So if I go always to look at for our next due section of Wednesday, March 26th, I go to the audit assignment instructions, I'll see that there is the final project part 2 upgrade is here, where you're gonna basically start with Wix that comes as a free version. And we also get an upgrade to the business section. The advantage to get the upgrade to the business section when we're in Wix is the idea of getting a free domain name and getting more storage space and being able to use Zoom and create conferences. So with your project, what I want, the first step for your project is to set up a website on Wix. And if you click on the website here, on this upgrade here, there's the code that's provided in the PPT documents area. And when you upgrade, then you can invite all your team members to your project site. Wix made a change. In the beginning, Wix was able in the free version to have 5 collaborators together. They made a change and they only have 2 people that are able to collaborate on their free version. So we need to upgrade to the business version in order to do our project. And your goal here is to become competent and showcase some generative AI tools that will be enhance efficiency or enhance creativity in specific sectors that you choose. For the first part of your project for this week is I'd like you to include a mission statement. What service descriptions, what are you describing as, and what we were talking about before is what internet or generative AI tools you'll be offering, what types to what type of customers. I'd like you to try to do an AI generated logo, an essential contact, have a team page, and explore multiple Gen AI apps and share some insights on some useful applications. So the first step is you'll go to Wix, you'll get started. One person in your group has to sign up. You need to use a credit card, but I do not, and I emphasize, I do not want you to pay a penny. I want this to be free. So when you create the site, after logging in, you can create a site. You can choose to create that site using a template or using the AI website builder or what they call the chat. And then you can upgrade your Wix site to your business plan. This is the code. Everybody see the code? Did you see that, Isabel? Right here is the code that's used for this class only, and for this semester, where you'll put it in and you'll invite your team members once it's upgraded, and you'll use the roles and permissions, just like we did roles and permissions with Blackboard, to invite your group members via the email. You'll edit your site, and you'll have in your site, this is what you need to have. In your site, you'll need to have a mission statement, briefly describe what services and purpose of your consulting. You'll have a team page. So you'll have a team page with everyone's picture and their role in the company. And you can use AI generated logo to generate a logo. You'll have a contact page, and then you'll publish the site. For right now, I don't want you to do a domain name. We'll do the domain name later because we're going to be doing another application on Wednesday that may change us to do our domain name. And then you'll continue on this one, but plan your domain name, but we're not going to do the domain name for our next assignment. And after publishing and saving, click the share button on which you'll see a link to your website, and copy this link and paste it in the group description under the assignment groups where the names, phone numbers are. And you'll replace this link with your custom domain name at a later time. And here's below, here's an example where we have group 0, and here is the link. Our link will also, for this first time, have Wix in the domain name because it's going to be secondary. And that's what you need to do for the next part. Any questions? Lily, any questions?
So when signing up for the website, is it like everyone makes their own account or only one person makes the account and then sends it like an invite for everyone else?
Exactly. The second
Okay.
one. Only
Okay.
one person sets it up, and then you do an invite for everyone, and everyone then can add their pictures. Everyone can take a chance. You can work together though, Lily. Sometimes it's hard to work together, but you could even do this in a Zoom call and share your screen, right? And you could sometimes, it may be even just quicker. Lily, you sign up, right? And let's say you were in your group, you sign up, have everyone there, and then work together on it together, and then upgrade for that first site. And it'll be like the first site. And then you can even start, what I would even do is says start chatting, answer its questions that you can say, I'm a consulting firm. What is yours, Lily?
Oh, job search.
Job search for what type? For university students, tell Wix, tell the AI of Wix what you want. And I want to create a site, and I want to have in my site, I want to have basically a mission statement. I want to describe my services. You can tell it what you want. I want to have a team page with mine, and I want an AI generated logo that describes it. Tell it exactly what you want and see what it comes up with. And then you play around with it. And of course, will it be excellent the first time around? No, but it's a start, right? It's a
Okay.
lot
Yeah.
easier. You get, that's what I like about it. It's great for brainstorming. You got something out there rather than spending weeks. Oh, I don't know what to write.
Yeah. Very true.
Quickly, you get something there, and then you say, okay, now I can edit, or now I can give it back and have it edit again, right? And I can go to other chatbots, right, to do it.
Right. All
Give
right.
me a
Thank you.
mission. What?
No, I was just saying thank you for answering my question.
Yeah, but you see how great it is. So basically,
Yeah.
you could spit this out quite quickly, but you need your whole group involved. And one of the things, let me emphasize, is that even though you say one person is going to sign up, everybody's going to be responsible. So as we go along, you'll make assignments of what everyone in your group will have to do. For instance, we're going to have later on, we'll have a demo of each of the sample products that you're going to be trying to use. So each person will do a short demo, right, of what they want and put it on the website. So that's how you're going to be graded. There'll be others there'll be even at the end a peer review
Okay.
that will also take into account. Okay,
All right.
perfect.
Sounds great.
Okay, Thomas, any comments of what I'm showing here?
Nothing.
Perfect. Looks good. Okay. So let me do the cloud, and then and then we'll have Sebastian, why don't we do this? Do you want to, maybe I'll stop sharing and you can show a little demonstration of what needs to be done?
In terms of how to log into Wix?
How to log into Wix, how to put in the code, where to put it in.
Hmm. Do you know by any chance if it's different to put a code in Windows compared
No,
to
same.
okay, so, all right, let me see if I remember.
Okay, let me do something else while you figure it out, okay?
All right.
Is that better? I'll give you, let's
Yeah.
say 10 minutes,
All right,
okay?
perfect.
Okay. I'll give you 10 minutes to prepare. See, off the top, okay? So That sounds good. So we had before, we had our Wiley reading and adaptive and our quizzes on cloud computing, right? Isabel, we had in the basics of cloud computing, the different types of clouds, cloud computing services, the benefits of cloud computing, concerns and risks with cloud computing, the three big cloud computing vendors, and an adaptive assignment. You got that, Soren? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, Soren, who do you think are the big cloud computer vendors? And if we don't know, what should we do, Soren?
Search it out.
Right. So what do you think, Thomas? Who are the biggest cloud vendors?
Wouldn't it be Amazon Web Services?
Okay, Amazon is number one of Amazon Web Services. And who comes in probably? It's kind of like competing. Who else competes there?
Would it be iCloud?
iCloud is not even the most.
Okay.
And we can check it out. Lily, what do you think?
IBM Cloud,
Okay, IBM is one of them. Who else?
like
Google
maybe like
Cloud.
Microsoft.
Google and Microsoft. So if I look at even in Google and Microsoft, let's go to, you see web links? Everybody see web links? Juan Carlos, you see web links on our side here? We have web links and we have PowerPoint and documents. On PowerPoint and documents, by the way, we have something when we do how to upgrade to the Wix account. We have this here, and here's the code. You see that, Juan Carlos? And people were asking me, we're getting this free for a year. We're getting this free basically till till the end of May, but we don't want to pay for a renewal, right, Juan Carlos? Some of you don't want to pay for renewal. So this is an article on how to turn off your auto renewal. Because by default, what do companies want to do is keep by opting in, right? What do they say? They want to do auto renewal. We don't want to do auto renewal. So after 14 days, you can turn this off. You don't want to do it before to cancel it because they'll just cancel your account, and we don't want to cancel our account. So this is something on the upgrade that you can see here. This also we have here in this using your coupon code. You see here, it tells you basically our accounts, and we're going to get, do you see this, Juan Carlos? We're going to choose business. Everybody put in your notes. Thomas Owens, put in your notes here that we're going to choose the business. But notice here that they have 50% off, but we're going to have to take off some of their codes there when we choose their business in order to get it. So you might have to have it that it's 0. If they're charging you any money, you want to get out and you want to let myself and Sebastian know that we don't want to be paid. So we're going to do the business account. This is how we need to select it at that time. Now, under PowerPoints, do you see this one, Carlos, that you have a number of PowerPoints and you also have cloud computing. So if you go to cloud computing, you will see under the cloud computing, you also have the PowerPoint slides. And one of the PowerPoint slides then is this one of the big 3 cloud computer vendors. Amazon, which calls Amazon Web Services. We know Amazon is what, Juan Carlos? That we order stuff from, right? We order books, we order everything under the sun, it gets delivered. Do you have a lot of Amazon boxes? I do. Microsoft is also a big player in this, in the cloud computing, and their cloud services is called Azure, or Azure, as some people say. And Google also has a Google Cloud Platform. You would think that Google, in a lot of ways, has a huge cloud platform, right? Just YouTube, right? They own. And their cloud platform of all their Google ads and just Google and searching. And we even use their Google Notebook LM, right? All done on the cloud. So these are the slides that you can go over. Now, under web links, do you see that, Juan Carlos? Under web links, I have two web links. What's the first one, Juan Carlos?
The first one's for Amazon Web Services Cloud Computing.
Yeah, and the second?
Is Microsoft Azure.
Yeah, right. And notice here, I have some questions here. You see that? What is cloud computing? What are examples by industry, right? What are the benefits? What are the types of CC's cloud computing? Explain what is public, private, hybrid, types of cloud services. This is IaaS. This is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, and what are uses of cloud computing? What are the risks? Do you think, Juan Carlos, some of this could be good as a test question?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, wouldn't it be? In terms of, and then show examples of what we've used in the class of cloud computing, right? Would be classic for it. So you can see at this point, I can do any of them, but if I just do it in open in a new tab, you can see, let me just see, what is cloud computing, that you can see the key here is what is cloud computing and what is called here on-demand delivery. And Asher, what is on-demand delivery mean? Do you have a clue?
I mean, I imagine that it's delivery that you can do instantly from like tap of a button sort of thing.
Whenever you want, right? It's on demand, just like when it's on demand, when you want to have Netflix or on demand on anything, it's basically you have IT sources. And what is cloud computing? Cloud computing, the idea is when you have a browser, you have in cloud computing pay-as-you-go pricing. So let's say, Asher, me and you wanted to start a business. What did you choose? What did your group choose for a proposal?
One of the options we chose was like a tutoring service, sort of.
Okay, so let's say AI tutoring service, right? And if we did that, instead of basically in the beginning, how many customers we have are not very many, right? And what we want to be able to do is pay as you go, is basically use their services. And when we grow, we pay more. And when we shrink, we pay less. And instead of buying and owning and maintaining physical data centers and services, we access the technology, the power of databases, and they use basically Amazon Web Services. So they give here, when you think about it, they give here
is the on-demand delivery of IT resources via the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers, you can access technology services such as computing power, storage, and databases on an as-needed basis from a cloud provider like Amazon Web Services. Organizations of every type, size, and industry are using the cloud for a wide variety of use cases, such as data backup, disaster recovery, email, virtual desktops, software development and testing, big data analytics, and customer-facing web applications. For example, healthcare companies are using the cloud to develop more personalized treatments for patients. Financial services companies are using the cloud to power real-time fraud detection and prevention. And video game makers are using the cloud to deliver online games to millions of players around the world. With cloud computing, your business can become more agile, reduce costs, instantly scale, and deploy globally in minutes. Cloud computing gives you instant access to a broad range of technologies, so you can innovate faster and build nearly anything you can imagine. From infrastructure services such as compute, storage, and databases, to Internet of Things, machine learning, data analytics, and much more. You can deploy technology services in a matter of minutes and get from idea to implementation several orders of magnitude faster than before. This gives you the freedom to experiment and test new ideas to differentiate customer experiences and transform your business, such as adding machine learning and intelligence to your applications in order to personalize experiences for your customers and improve their engagement. You don't need to make large upfront investments in hardware and overpay for capacity you don't use. Instead, you can trade capital expense for variable expense and only pay for IT as you consume it. With cloud computing, you access resources from the cloud in real time as they're needed. You can scale these resources up and down to grow or shrink capacity instantly as your business needs change. Cloud computing also makes it easy to expand to new regions and deploy globally in minutes. For example, Amazon Web Services has infrastructure all over the world, so you're able to deploy your application in multiple physical locations in just a few clicks. Putting applications in closer proximity to end users reduces latency and improves their experience. No matter your location, size, or industry, the cloud frees you from managing infrastructure and data centers, so you can focus on what matters most to your business.
So do you see that, Thomas Owen? So basically, who is using cloud computing, what is the benefit? And then they say here, agility. And what does agility mean? Do you have any idea, Thomas Owen? What does agility mean? If I say you're agile, or we're going to start a business together and we have to be agile.
I don't know, like able to change.
Change,
Or
right? Do we know what our business is going to be? Can we forecast now? And businesses now, what do they have to be? Agile. Did you hear about tariffs, Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you hear about tariffs?
What do you mean? Like when?
What is it? Did you ever hear that Trump is proposing tariffs?
Yeah, he's like increasing the cost of buying goods from other countries.
The other countries, right? Well, did we know how much that's going to be? Does it seem like it's changing? They're negotiating. Before it was with Canada and Mexico. They're with cars. So we don't know exactly. So what do we have to be? We have to be agile. We have to plan for it, but we're not sure what's going to be. When we're having a company, we're not sure how it's going to work. So we're going to have to be agile. So what does the cloud do? I can basically pay as I go for the services that I need. So another benefit is cost saving. Why is it cost saving? Then Christian, why would it be cost saving, the cloud? What's the difference between fixed expenses versus variable expenses? Do you know?
Because with the cloud, it would you could change what you need as you go. Whereas the example I'd use is if you're renting a building, it'll be cheaper than if you buy a building and you have to scale up or scale down.
But basically, and what is the building? It's good, but even in a building, I know kind of like in real estate, if I buy a building in Miami for the past couple of years, chances are it'll go up in value, right? But if I buy computers, what do you think about computers, Kristen? You think my computers after a year or 2 years it's gonna increase in value?
No, I think it's all going to go down in value.
It's going down in value. If I buy even a a building, most likely, even if that building isn't good, maybe they'll tear it down, right? If it's in downtown Miami, they'll tear it down and build a high rise. Maybe that's what I'm waiting for. So in the cloud, it's even more so in IT that I know what, as time goes by, the value of those computing systems go down. And guess what? If I'm using any AI and stuff, what do I want? I'm going to need more power. I'm going to need more energy. So those ideas of those data centers where, NVIDIA saying, cost millions and millions of dollars they're going to be putting in. I don't want to be paying for that. So that idea between a fixed expense and a variable expense, which you need to know about, it's really a great example of cloud computing. That variable expense is I only pay for IT as I consume it. It's just like if I think about electricity, right? It's electricity, then it's a variable expense because if I go away for the summer, I shut down my air conditioning, right? I'm not going to have to pay those expenses. So as I consume it. So this is the idea of variable costs are much lower than fixed costs. And then the types of computing, these are the types of computing. And what does this mean? Do you see here, Ariana, you see here, what are the common letters of all of these? What are the 3 letters that are all in common here?
AAS.
AAS. That stands for as a service. So you can put that in your notes, as a service. So instead of me buying these products, I'm going to be using it as a service. Infrastructure as a service means I'm talking about the hardware itself. Remember, Ariana, were you at the exam?
Yes.
What did they have? They had it looked like they had old PCs there, didn't it, in that lab?
Yeah,
Right.
the one that I was assigned to didn't work, so I used.
I know, and it didn't even work. Can you imagine? It didn't even work. How disappointing. So the idea here, instead of that infrastructure as a service, if we had to really design our hardware, we'd say, hey, listen, let's go ahead and use the hardware on Amazon or Microsoft rather than depending on that lab, right? So these are kind of like the infrastructure. And if we need a dedicated hardware, we needed more storage space, and we know it always, right? You have always the cloud when you think about it. Everybody has from Apple or from Google, right? Or from Microsoft, my drives. This is when they think about all that hardware. This, put in your notes here, infrastructure as a service is like, in this case, accessing all my hardware and data storage as a service. I'm going to go through the internet and get those services. Platform as a service, if I think about it, is what? A platform, think about it, Briggs, is like an operating system. You remember we talked about an operating system? We have Windows, we have Mac OS, we have Android, we have iOS. A platform as a service is basically, I'm going to use that platform that's on the cloud through the internet. So instead of investing, let's say we have some applications, financial applications in Windows, instead of putting it in our machines in Windows, we can use that platform in the cloud. And software as a service, if I think about software as a service, Andrea, what do I think about? That I'm going to be using what? We do it all the time. We're using it in the cloud rather than on premise on our computer. Right? Doesn't that make sense? That if we want, for instance, Loom, we'll use Loom for recording. We'll use it as a service. What about Zoom? Andrea, do you think Zoom is a software as a service?
Yes, because it saves to the cloud.
Right. And not only that, how do we get access to Zoom?
Through the internet.
Through the internet. So always the question, Andrea, you need to ask yourself, do I get that service through the internet? If I get it through the internet, that's cloud. You even know all this, but you never use those terms. You got it, Andrea? That it's kind of like second nature. Almost everything you use is really a cloud service. You know, your email, right? Your Instagram, all of that. If I go Netflix, anything that I use, my Spotify, is what? They're cloud services. There's very rarely, but some of the industries in the past, and the university was one of them, for instance, the School of Business used to have their physical computers, and they took care of email in their premises. They had computers not long ago, they had computers in the business school in a room, and they had staff taking care of that. What's the problem with that? We got to get qualified staff. Is that easy? No. All those updates we have to take care of. Are we in the business to be hardware? No, we're in the business of education. It's bad enough. Did you see that in the lab? It was bad enough. I had to have 3 people from IT just to make sure that everybody could get on. And you saw not even everybody in the class could get on. For a simple thing like what? Doing an exam. So you can imagine if I have to have all that backup, I had like a whole crew there just for my class, right? Ridiculous. So if we can do more and more, it's a service, we're doing that. Does everybody understand that aspect? And then you can see here what kind of customers, what kind of things that I can do in terms of advertising, aerospace, agriculture. And it goes along the same lines, Andrea, as what? As AI, right? AI is going to be in conjunction with AI has all been done what? Through the cloud. AI is basically an addition. So here they're doing the innovations. So if you think about this AWS, and they all compete, look at here, there's products. So look at this, in this case, what kind of products? If I am, for instance, I can do storage, right? I can do, look at this. I even can do, if I want to, is create some artificial intelligence on my own. These are some artificial intelligence apps that we can create our own apps, business applications, financial management, computing, contact centers, those call centers, databases, developers. If I had developers, I can do that. And I can have workspace, front end, games, Internet of Things. That means all my devices, my cameras, all my cameras that I have, all my electronics that are smart. And notice this, management and governance. What does that mean? Is basically what we talked about governance, that I want to make sure that it's done correctly with the security. So here is security in it and as well. So here is solutions. The solutions are by industry. And you can see an industry then, and you can see that all these industries, use case, industries, aerospace, I can have specific ones, healthcare, government, probably education. Don't you think education would be one? Education is one. The cloud for what? Helping education be always what? Available, personal, lifelong for everyone. And are they going to use artificial intelligence in it? You can think about, sure will. So this is the same. And guess what? If I then look at what is cloud computing by Azure, Microsoft, do you think it's going to be very similar? I bet it is. And if I think about what is cloud computing by Azure, it's the same thing. How's it defined? Cloud computing delivery computing services, including servers, storage, databases, intelligence over the internet, via browser, the cloud. To offer what? Faster innovation, flexible, that's agile, economies of scale. You typically pay only for cloud services you use. Pay as you go, on demand, helping you lower your operating costs, run your infrastructure more efficiently, scale as your business needs. And they say the types, the cost, speed, looks like the same, right? reliability, security, and these are the different models that we have. We either have then a public cloud that's owned and operated by people like Azure or AWS. We have a private cloud. If I'm using usually an organization, I'm very tight on security, like the Department of Defense. A hybrid is combining the two. And notice this: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Does this look familiar, Andrea? Yes, no?
Yes, yes.
You see how we got it? Isn't this going to be a great question for the exam? Can you see it already? You could even write it. You could ask ChatGPT, or you can ask, basically put it into what? Notebook LM and do a podcast on it, right? Easy as we go. Did that make sense? Juan Carlos. You know it already, right, Juan Carlos? It's just that you haven't, basically, you know it usually as software as a service. Every software that you use is basically, tell me one software that isn't as on the cloud, very rarely. And you remember, sometimes I'll say, find a screen recorder that you can basically have on your computer and record to your computer rather than what? In the cloud. Because guess what, Juan, what is the disadvantage of all that cloud?
Sometimes we don't have internet or access to it.
Exactly. When I'm stuck, what am I going to do? I still need to be in business. So that's what, those are the areas, right? And that's why a lot of times you want to have backup, and you want to maybe even have different backups of your servers, different places in the world. There's a fire somewhere, there's an earthquake somewhere, there's a hurricane somewhere. Stuff happens, but you understand it. Okay, Sebastian, did I give you some time? Was that a good time, or do you want to?
I did. I'm just gonna create another Gmail, or if I could use someone's, because I can't use the same Gmail. And,
Okay, right. And that's what you can create another Gmail, or you can have somebody else. We can have someone else, or you can even create it on the spot where you can just log in and you can even just start. So who wants to be help Sebastian, and Sebastian can help you with your proposal? Raise your hand. Do you want to have Sebastian help you right now in class? No way? Everybody wants to do it on their own? If I were you, I would take it. So do you want to do something, or you want me to share?
I can do it. Do you have an actual?
Okay.
I mean, unless I just need a Gmail. I'm creating a Gmail right now.
Okay. So what do you need to do? You have to, so let me just do this while you do it, and you'll tell me, okay?
Okay.
So let me change my look and feel. Did you have a question, Jasper?
Yeah, I did have a question.
What is the question?
So on Wix,
Mhm.
I was the group who, or I was the person in my group who did the premium subscription. And
Okay.
then you said that we should like turn off auto renewal.
You should turn off auto renewal after 14 days.
Okay, yeah, because my
After
question
2 weeks, right? Are you with Henry or no? Or there was
no, I don't think so.
okay, all right, yeah. So what? Great question, Jasper. So do the auto renewal. Wait 2 weeks. Because they're
Okay.
not going to charge you. But after 2 weeks, then you can turn off auto renewal.
Yeah,
Just like
because it said I would immediately lose my premium subscription if I turned it off.
right. You don't want to do that right now. You want to wait, Also, you can wait till the end of the semester.
Yeah.
Or just put a reminder in your calendar.
Okay, got it.
That's what I would do. Why worry about, that's why we have calendars, right? That's why make even 2 reminders.
Yeah.
In case you miss it, put it on your phone, a number of different things. Just remind yourself to You know, that you don't want it renewed in another year. You know
Okay.
what I mean? That you have a year. So that's excellent. Because what do I want? Isn't that great that I have that academic relationship that they say, hey, we'll upgrade your class, Dr. Rush, or that they can use it. And then your website then will look very professional.
Yeah.
And what you can do, Jasper, is after that, you know what? Go ahead and you could sell it if you didn't want to do it. Hey, I got a whole business here, right? Everything with a domain name. How much you want for it?
Yeah.
And then you'll just be put you on the board, give you some shares or something, advisory fees or something, you're ready for it. And people will be impressed. And then you'll have your podcasting, do a podcast on your company.
Mhm.
Put your URL. Isn't that neat? You already know how to do that, right? Put your URL as the source, not chapter 1 or chapter 7 or whatever.
Mhm.
And then let it start. And then you put something and let it start talking about your company, and you'll get those two, that woman and that guy, bantering together, talking about what was going to be your proposal? What's your business?
We are either doing like a digital marketing one or a tutoring one.
Yeah. And you need to decide today.
Mhm.
And then it could be, unless you want it and your group is ambitious and you wanted to do, divide up the group and do 2 of them, but it's up to you. But in that case, it could talk about, and what did you call the company? It could talk about the podcast, could talk about your digital marketing, what you guys are doing. And then you could join in. Remember, in the joining, you could record it too and have a recording of the podcast. And
Yeah.
also even put the link of the podcast. Neat. And people will say, oh, wow. And you say, you want that podcast? We can create that for you too,
Mhm.
for companies, right? It's great.
Yeah.
But you don't even realize how much you're going to learn. You know what I mean? How much stuff already that you can give that other people. Did you know this beforehand, before the semester?
No, I didn't know that.
Right. Now it's almost like second nature, big deal, right? But and 95% of those businesses don't know anything about it. Okay. So in that case, if I looked under that Wix,
I created the email, Professor, if you want me to do it.
okay, you want to, okay. So let's do
Yeah.
that. Let's share because we're getting
Let me share my screen.
perfect. Good
Do you guys see
question,
that?
Jasper. Okay, so they basically, where did you go? Go from the very beginning where you are to Wix.com.
All right. Wix.com.
Okay. So
And
create,
then
okay, now here it's bring your limit. And what happens is you just said, get started, start for free, no credit required.
it takes you here.
Okay.
And then you're just gonna, I personally think it's the easiest way to continue with Google.
Yeah, continue with Google because you're going to use Google for other things that we do. Okay.
This is the new Gmail I created.
Okay.
Just give it a second. And then
Okay.
you have to answer like a bunch of questions for it to generate your website.
Okay. So who are you creating for? Right. For
Myself.
work. Okay. For yourself, for my business. Okay. And then you just go through it.
Let's let it load.
And then you'll just go through and you can go through the chat, bring your business to life, start the chat. Set up without a chat. I would start with the chat and let it know what your kind of business is. You can go through this. You see this, Lily, like we were talking about before,
I'm just gonna do my website from like last semester.
Okay, so good. But anyways,
So I just typed in my mission statement there to give it a
okay,
sense
but you can
of
even
what
write. Okay, fantastic. An impressive mission. What's the name of your business project? Client communication. Okay, just fill it out.
There should, if I remember correctly, it should be 6 questions that you have to
Okay.
answer.
Okay.
And then it'll put you into your website with your own dashboard.
Okay, and then what you're going to do is then you're going to upgrade to the business with your code. And then let's even do that. Maybe even stop now. Can you stop and then go into right? Let's just finish up because I want to see if the code works. Because because it's on sale, you have to take off the sale and make sure you put in yours. Because sometimes when they have a sale,
So then it puts you here.
okay, I don't want a domain name.
Which you're gonna have to do that in your own time, but
Yeah,
Just
I
to
don't
show
want the
you,
domain name. You're right. So
just
how
to
do
show
you,
you how to do it, you
yeah,
type in upgrade plan or
okay,
upgrade site. Yeah, upgrade site.
okay.
And then you're gonna choose the business plan.
You're gonna choose the business, perfect.
You're gonna choose
Now use
yearly.
1 year. Now this is the key, folks. Everybody hear that? Jasper, did you choose 1 year?
Yeah, I did choose one.
Yeah, make sure, do you hear that, Soren? You want to make sure it's only yearly because they try to make it, of course, when they're marketing, what do they want to do, Lily? They'll put in by default, they'll put in 3 years, right? Because what do they want? Revenue, right? You don't want it, but they do. Okay. And continue to check out, I guess, right?
Yeah. It's automatically gonna give you this discount
Yeah,
code, which
but
is
I want to
50%.
remove that.
But you want to remove that, and then you want to
Right.
enter promo
Remove
code,
that and enter the promo code.
and then you're gonna just put in the promo code that's under PowerPoint and document on Blackboard, and then you're gonna
Yeah.
click apply.
And make sure it says 0. See, it says this promo code doesn't work.
I just did it on the other email when
Okay.
when you gave me the 10 minutes, and
Doesn't work.
now it
For
doesn't
the
work.
project you choose, double click your code, continue or need help, contact customer support. Okay. So somehow
I
you need to
just
put your
did
credit
it.
card.
I just put in that code. Let me
Okay.
but I guess since I just did it, it
Maybe.
won't let
But
me again.
okay. Make sure that if you have that issue, we'll check that. Right.
Let me just make sure I'm copying and pasting it correctly. Oh,
Yeah, it probably is. It's probably because they're removing the code, right? But everybody gets the idea. And if we have issues, what should you do, Ariel, if you have issues? You need, Ariel Francis, what do you need to do? You need to make sure that you,
yeah, there it is. I
okay,
copied and pasted it wrong. And
okay,
then there you go.
perfect. That's the key. And then you submit. I guess you need to put in so you only need one person to do it, the card number, and then you will not be charging. Just like you were saying, Jasper, later on, what I would do is later on in the semester, at the end of the semester, make a note that you cancel your plan. Because you don't want to eliminate getting that business. Questions? Thank you. It's good that we see that it wasn't a demo, right, Sebastian? We struggled.
Yeah.
We rehearsed it with the issues. You got to copy the code correctly. And you have to make sure you remove the code beforehand because they have a sale on this, of that business version. Okay? And then when you get your website and then you make your permissions and give it to everyone, then you can put your URL for Wednesday. And we'll look at everyone's on Wednesday and we'll talk about what needs to be done. And once you do it the first time, Lily, you'll look at it and of course you'll need to edit it. But quick and dirty. I love it. What do you think? I mean, I don't want to spend 2 weeks with my group just figuring out what is our mission statement. Have something, then we can edit it. You agree with me, Lily? I mean, that's how
Yeah, I agree.
even though people say, oh, people need to do it, AI is a tremendous help, of getting things done. But you need to know how to work with it. If you don't know how to work with it, then you're in trouble. And then you are also going to be, if you're in the financial area, some things they don't want you to mess with, recordings of conversation. They don't want AI to start summarizing because they are, they're tightly regulated. So they're worried about that financial, but to do something like marketing or something like that, or setting up my website, what I'm talking about, my aspirations or the aspirations of the company, right? It's great. As long as, legally. Okay, thank you for sharing. Everybody got the idea? Kristen, you have questions? And then it's fun. Then I'm going to show you. You remember 1-800, Christian, 1-800 ChatGPT?
Yeah.
What I want to do on Wednesday is try to get, that's called a vanity number because what is it about? It's about ChatGPT. I can call it. I can basically go to a URL that's ChatGPT. It talks about chatting with basically a model, right? So in this case, I want every group then to have a linkable number that's a vanity number that we can attach a language model to. That you'll have your own bot and people can call your own number. And what are you looking at, Kristen? Remind me your proposal.
I'm with Jasper. We're gonna do the digital marketing. So we take
No, it
companies
could be
digital.
something about like USA markets or something, or USA digital marketing or something. Mark, call that, and then you'll hear about you guys and what advice you give. And people can call it. That's what we'll work on Wednesday, and we'll try to find something. We may not find it, but it'd be great to find like a vanity number, that a phone number that spells something. You got it, and we'll attach a bot to it. So instead of I'm ChatGPT, I'm your company. That's what we'll do on Wednesday. Neat? I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Sebastian, you want to be so kind and we'll get attendance and stay with me?
Let me share my screen.
Oh, I need to upgrade. I need you to, can you get to it?
Yeah.
You can? You're not upgrade? I'm upgrading you? You don't have to be a host?
I don't think so.
I think so.
Do you guys see that?
Yeah. Okay. 5910.
Oh.
All right. 5910. Stay with me if you have questions. See you guys. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. And Henry, did I answer your question? I think so. Okay. And Sam, you have a question? And Thomas, do you have a question?
I can't get into my Blackboard right now. Is there any way you could mark me down, Sebastian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Thank you. Have a great day, Dr. Rush, and you too, Sebastian.
You too, Sam.
And how did it work out? What are you guys doing? What proposal?
We're doing the job finding one.
Okay.
So
Okay.
me and Thomas are working on it now.
Okay. So that's, you have it, you know what I mean? I love it that you don't have a lot of people, you know what I mean? Just get it
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, it should be. It'll just be a little hard because there's only 2 people in our group, but
Yeah,
we're getting it done.
You'll get it. It'll be.
Yeah. It's an easy
really,
topic.
and it's also, it'll be your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll
Okay.
it's not a big deal. And then we'll
Yep.
see what you do for Wednesday. Ready to
Mhm.
publish it.
Sweet. All right. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. So it's great, Sebastian.
Let me.
Let me stop recording.
It was Sam Warden.
Did you get him?
Just got him.
Okay, great. So let me get YouTube.